Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Mastermind Creations KM-01 Night Morpher Commander, and I love this toy. Originally released in February of 2010, this guy retailed for approximately $85, and as you can see here, Optimus Prime is now a train. So, Night Morpher Commander, if you're not familiar, this is Mastermind's Creations representation of the Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime. Hearts of Steel was a short series of comic books in which the Transformers were taken back to, it was kind of like a steampunk kind of thing that they were doing. So, although original characters that we are familiar with from Transformers were back in the day with, like you can see here, Optimus Prime is like a steam engine. Shockwave was like this, like the steam engine boat, like a steamboat. And the Seekers, the planes were really cool because they were like these weird, almost like triplanes, a very cool mix of the Cybertronian technology with like old steampunky technology. Very cool mix of the two there. So Mastermind Creations came up with the Night Morpher Commander to give us a representation of the figure that we saw in the comics. So, like I mentioned, Optimus here is I'm going to call him, I'm probably going to, because That's Just Prime and I'm just calling him Optimus all over the place, I'm probably going to be calling him Optimus throughout the duration of the video. That's just a force of habit, because it's just difficult for me to call him anything else other than Prime. So, Optimus here, like I mentioned, is a steam engine train. And he is approximately 9.5 inches long and about 5 inches tall at the top of the smokestack here. And I absolutely adore this. I love trains. I love this train. This is incredible. I love this steam engine. It's just so cool. It's so full of detail. It rolls really nice. Now, this guy does come with 2 pieces of track. And I do have them. They're really more for display other than anything, rather than anything else. Like I said, he rolls really nice. And then he's got these 2 pieces of track that you can plug together, and you can sit him up on top of the track. And he can also roll on the track, but that's all you get is just those 2 pieces, and they're really meant more for display. So because I display my figures in robot mode, my track pieces are in the box, which are up in the attic, which is currently inaccessible because I'm moving some things around, and I can't access my attic hatch right now. So you're just going to have to go without the tracks for this review. I'm sorry. So anyway... so like I said, he rolls really well, and he is just loaded with detail. Absolutely just beautiful piece. Now, right off the bat, the Autobot symbol, I put that there myself. That's a repro label. This figure does not have any Autobot symbols when he comes, as he comes originally. But you can see all over the place. There's rivets all over the place. The cow catcher there. You got some lights right down here. And you'll see going all the way around on this guy, there's rivets everywhere, and he's very detailed. They did not skimp out on the detail on this guy. You're looking up at the top, you got all your portholes right there. You got a little ladder and port right there on the back with some handles. Just detail all over the place. This guy looks incredible. And as far as the deco goes, this guy is really reminiscent of a G1 Optimus Prime. In both the way the figure transforms and plays and the color scheme. As you can see, you've got the red front, you got the blue going along the whole bottom, and then you've got a gray, sort of the trailer-ish part here is gray with the angled stripe right there. So they really did go with a very G1 scheme to Optimus Prime. And like I said, he also, the way he transforms is very reminiscent of Optimus Prime, and the way he plays is very reminiscent of Optimus Prime. He did come with some extra accessories. Now, he has this latch here in the back. There are other versions of this toy that you can use. There's like other colors. There's a black one and there's a purple one. So you actually have this piece right here that you can rotate to link them up to other train pieces. Or you can make it, the female end, and you can turn it around to use for the male end right there. And then also... you've got right here on the bottom, you've got this other piece right here, which you can use to link up, and you can use this as a linkage. If you want to use another train piece right there, you can use that to hook that up. So that's very cool that they added all of that, they included all of that. And it's also very cool that you've got that added storage right there in the bottom. He's also got these extra fists. Now, these are, let me see if I can get that out. These are not the best add-on accessory. So the way these work is that, as you can see, they're like on a little clip right there, like 2 clip halves. And as you can see, they're very, very stressed out, and they're kind of in like this. I can still use them in robot mode, and they're still going to hold fine, and I am going to show those off when we get to robot mode. But what they do basically is they go, the fists that he has normally are like this, and then because he has a lance, these fists right here angle the fist like so for the lance. It doesn't make much of a difference, and yeah, as you can see, the quality on these is not great. I hardly ever use these, if at all. Actually, I don't think I've ever used these. Maybe when I first got the figure, just to try them on to see what they look like, and that was it. And they're that stressed out, so I try not to use them a whole lot because I don't want them breaking. Now, this figure is one that it didn't exactly get it didn't get the most positive reaction when it was first released, and I'll explain. This is actually a revised version. One of my wheels is upside down here. When I was showing off the, come on, there we go. That's better. No, when this figure originally came out, it did have some QC issues. Those fists right there, those were problems that this figure originally had. And then also the shoulders, the way when it transforms, the shoulders split and slide forward on the chest, and then they clip into place. And the pieces that would clip and hold those shoulders would break right off. People were getting this figure, and right off of the bat, the first time they transformed them, they would clip the shoulders into place, and the little clips would break off, and they would see the clips just fall right off of the figure. So because of those QC issues, and of course you saw the tabs on the fist there, those were also snapping and breaking off. So because of those issues, this figure was not exactly well received when it first came out. Later, they came out with the black repainted version that fixed all of those issues. Then they later put out the purple version, and eventually they came up with the original paint scheme of the figure. I think this might be a little darker than what the original version of the figure was, but this figure also has had those issues fixed. And you saw those fists, and obviously those fists don't look like they were fixed. The shoulders are fixed on this, and then the regular straight-up fists, those are also fixed. They're solid pegs. So those are fixed, but the angled fists that I got with this one are still the original release. That's why they're so stressed out. So yeah, if you were patient enough to wait for the second release of this figure, like I did, then this figure is actually very good. I have no issues with it. I've never had any problems other than those fists, like I said, and again, I never use those. I always use the straight fists anyway. So other than that, I have no QC issues with this figure, but I know a lot of people that jumped on this when they first came out did, and understandably so. They were not very happy. So now getting into the transformation, I'm going to start off with the cab of this, or with the trailer part. So this is really, really cool. As with a G1 Optimus Prime, you've got, basically think of this as a truck and a trailer. So you've got the boiler and you've got the cabin back here. This guy is going to separate. So you just pick up on this guy and then pull straight back. And you've got these tabs down here, and you got these 2 tabs up here. The bottom tabs were tabbed into the big bleh. I forgot to use my English just now. Those bottom 2 tabs were plugged into this back part here, and then these top 2 tabs were plugged into the back of the train here. So this whole thing separates just like so. I'm going to set that aside for now, and I'm going to concentrate on this cab. This cab works, again, a lot like the trailer did. This is almost impossible to do while it's closed, but this back part does open up just like the trailer part did, just like so, which is really cool. Again, much like the trailer on the G1 Prime would. And then you're going to take the whole thing and you're going to split it in half, exactly like the G1 Prime would do. Check that out. Very, very, very cool. Now, this piece here, this is going to separate. This is going to unplug from the front of the cannon there. And this unfolds, and it's going to become a shield for Prime later on. So we'll set that off to the side. And then you've got yourself a cannon here. And so you've got yourself like a little base here. And this cannon, you can slide it. You can see that there's a track right here. So you can slide this guy all the way forward. Typically, this is the way I like to do it. Is just slide it all the way forward, and the fist fell out. And I'm just going to leave those off to the side because we're going to use them again later. So anyway, I like to slide the cannon all the way forward and then rotate it. And as you can see, you can point this thing up and down, and you got 360-degree rotation on it. So you can go all over the place with it. And then you've got this gap back here, so you can actually get your Night Morpher and have him stand back here manning this cannon. So that's super, super cool right there. So that's the trailer base right there. We're going to come back to this later when we get into weapons. But for now, that's all I'm showing you. And we'll set that guy aside, and we'll bring in the front part of Prime right here. And again, the cab, like I said, the cab, you saw that it transformed just like the original trailer did. This guy, very reminiscent of original Prime as well. So we're going to start right here. The smokestack, we're going to remove this. This guy's just going to pop right off. And then you're going to bring this down, come around the front here, and rotate this piece all the way around. Flip it over, and you've got yourself Prime's cannon right there. Set that aside. Come to the figure, you're going to take the cow catcher right here, and this guy's going to split in half. And just kind of off to the side, this guy's going to create like some skirts for Prime. And then these wheels are really messing with me. So the wheels in train mode are supposed to be out to the front. Now that's, if we're going to call out some issues, I'm going to call that an issue because these guys really don't lock. So these wheels right here don't lock in the outward position, which is where they're supposed to be in train mode. As you can see, they just kind of go in and out all over the place. So but when they're out like that, they don't rotate, which is why I've been trying to be so careful with them, because they're only meant to rotate in the in position. See that? So anyway, you're supposed to push these in for robot mode and split the cow catcher in half. And then this whole leg piece here, this is going to come down just like on a G1 Prime. And then you're going to extend the legs just like so. They're not going to click into place. They're just going to come out. And the, let me see if I can get in there. You can see where the bottom of the knee joint is just going to come flush with the top of the surface here for the thighs right there. So that's when you know that they're out as far as they're supposed to go. You can go ahead and split the legs. Take these back pieces here. These are going to be foot guards, so bring these guys up. Come around the back. You're going to open these panels up. And then bring out the feet, and then bring the panel back down again. And it's just going to rest on the back of the ankle like that. Ankle or the heel? Yeah, the heel. So there you go. Just like that. And that is the legs pretty much done. Again, much like G1 Prime, those legs just come straight down and extend. And then you flip out the feet. We're going to need to adjust the camera. And I love this part so much. Okay, so the arms, again, a lot like Prime. You're going to take this panel up here at the top and just flip it up. There's a little peg that's plugged into the top of the arms right there. And then this whole part of the back part of the boiler is going to split in half. It's going to rotate around to the front. And it's going to slide forward, and it's going to click into place. Just like that. It was very light on the first one, but I'm sure you heard it on the second one. And then go ahead and bring this piece back down again. The arms are going to unfold from the side here. So you got a little peg on the back side here of the elbow. And then you got another peg out here in the front towards the chest right there. Unpeg that, bring it down, rotate it, and there's your fist. Same thing on this side. Bring it down, pull it back, and then straighten those out, just like so. And then for the head, you're going to open up the chest. The chest is going to open straight forward. And you're going to rotate this piece up, and there's his head. And before I close that up, you're going to notice that the chest also has a matrix, and this is removable as well. So there you go. You've got yourself a little matrix of leadership right there that you can plug into the chest, which is really, really cool. And it's the same thing on both sides, so it doesn't matter which way you've got it faced. And then there's a little groove that can just sit there. Let me get sitting straight like that. There you go. And then you've got these three little pegs right here going to go into these three holes right there on the chest and neck. And there is Night Morpher Commander or Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime in robot mode. And just check that out. I love this figure so much. It's really, really, really cool. Here in robot mode, Optimus stands approximately 7 inches tall. So he's a good Voyager size figure. And again, you've got your very classic looking Optimus Prime, but at the same time, very mixed in with the train. They did a beautiful job of integrating the old steam engine train with a classic Optimus Prime look, and I think they pulled it off. I think it does a really, really good job. Nice, dark, subdued reds at the top. You've got like these grayish blue. It probably looks gray. As I'm looking at it in the camera, it looks very gray down here, but the legs are blue. It's just like a very dark grayish blue. And you can see the amount of detail that they went into, even the interior of the legs, which are normally plugged together like this for train mode, or just in the interior for the legs. It's something that hardly shows, but they still went through the trouble of creating all this detail, all these gears in the interior of the legs right there. So a lot of love was put into this figure. The thighs right here, you can see the thighs, lots of rivets on those thighs. So the interior of the arms, a lot of detail. They really put a lot of love into this figure. Getting into more detail, we'll bring him in close for the head, and you can see a very classic looking Optimus Prime head. He is he is a little bit blocked by this light at the top here, but when he's over here, you don't really notice it. But when you're up close, you kind of see it. Now, very classic looking Optimus Prime, but again, very kind of old-fashioned train looking, very steampunk looking. A lot of vents, and again, the theme is knight, as in like Knights of the Round Table kind of knight. So you're gonna have those vents right there on the mouth plate, and then you've got this visor down here that also swings down, so you could cover him up. You could cover up his eyes, like if he's jousting, which he's gonna do later. I'm gonna show you that. So that's really cool that they included that right there. Now this piece is removable. If you don't like the way that piece looks there, you can take that off and put it away. But I don't really have anywhere to put it, so I like to leave it on. It really doesn't bother me. I kind of like it, actually. I like the way that looks. For articulation, you've got feels like a ball joint head, because you got forward, you got tilt, and of course you've got rotation. So that feels like a ball joint. The let's see, universal joint at the shoulders here. So you got a rotation forward and backward. You got a little bit of tilt right there, and then you're gonna have a again in and out at the interior of the shoulder right there, along with a rotation at the bicep, and a nice you got a double jointed elbow because of the transformation. And again, the fists are pegged in, so you can actually rotate the fist. Let me bring the weapon here to help me pull it out. So as you can see here, now this is the updated fist, and as you can see, it's got a solid peg right there, whereas the previous ones had those tabs right there, and those tabs were the ones that were breaking. So this is the updated fist right here, and this works much better than this did. But because it's on a peg and they are removable, you can also rotate the wrist like so, which is what I was going to show you. And then again, if you want, you can just plug these guys in, and as you can see, even with the stress that they have on them, they hold just fine. I don't really have any problem with them holding in place right there, and they're relatively easy to remove. So there's that. Get that plugged into place. There is a rotation at the top of the waist right there. Move the cow catcher. The cow catchers are on ball joints. If it matters to you, there it is. You can actually move them out of the way. You got a universal joint at the hip, so you got an in and out. You got a forward and backwards. You got a rotation at the thigh, and then you got a kind of like a ratchet joint. Sorry, ratchet joint right there at the knee. So very nice and clicky. Not loud, but it does hold in place very nicely. And then you've got a little bit of tilt at the feet because of the transformation, and you do have a swivel side to side, so you can give them an A stance. You can actually swivel the toes in, or the ankles in. So very nice range of articulation, and quite honestly, I think this is an absolute beautiful figure. We'll bring in his rifle so you can see what he looks like with that. And put his visor up, and there you go. I think this figure is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful figure. Even with the QC issues that the first one had, which would be with the QC issues, once those break, these would be loose. Would be the only issue that you would have. So, but I think if you tighten that up with maybe like nail polish or something, even if they don't click into place, it would still be tight enough to hold. And it's just a gorgeous figure. Check that out. But if you're going to look for this figure, definitely try and find the second release. If you're going to look for it in these colors. If you get the black one or you get the purple one, you're not going to have the QC issues. But if you get the red one, you're going to want to find the second edition. Which, like I said, I think it's the one with the darker color. So there you go. There's that. And like I mentioned earlier, we're bringing the trailer piece back again. There's that gap opening right there, so you can actually have him manning that cannon just like so. And there you go. That works really well. Now, there are more weapons for this guy, and that's where this cannon is going to come into place. So this whole cannon is going to come apart. So we're just going to pull this whole thing off just like so. And as you can see, that piece fell off right there. Now, you can leave that, the cannon. You can have like a short cannon there. If you want, you can bring in his rifle. You can see the fists are really relatively easy to remove. Now, you can take the rifle. You can plug it into the side right there. That also works. Or, you know, and this is for, we're going to bring in the lance and the shield now. So if you want to have him just holding his lance and shield, you can plug in the weapon right there on the side of the arm. Or you can also plug it into the top of the short cannon there if you want. There's a lot of play options with this guy. You can just do just about anything you want with it, really. So the lance here has this little plug. Now, this plug right here doesn't really have anywhere to put away. So you're going to want to be careful with this. I typically try to like, whoops. You can see it's very easy to lose. I typically will try to put it in there when I'm not using it and hope it holds. It's not holding. So just be careful with this piece. You don't want to lose this because this is protecting the tip of your lance so that it doesn't break off. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. And then the lance extends out just like so. And we can have him holding his lance like that. We'll bring in that shield from earlier. And as you saw, you've got the pegs on the side of the arm. I have the rifle on one side. You can use this side for the shield, just like so. So there you go. So now you've got Optimus with his shield and lance. And you can bring down the visor like so. And he is ready for a joust. Now, this is where those other fists come into play. So you can remove this fist and bring in one of these. That's the left one. Let's bring in the right one. You can bring in one of these angled fists and then just pop this guy in like so. And as you can see, what that does is it kind of makes a cool little effect of him just angling the lance forward, just like that. So we'll leave this one in for now for the remainder of the video. So now the cannon, you saw me take off this tube. You can put this tube back on again if you want and just leave the cannon like so. Or actually, you know what? I forgot something here. You have to take this this tip of the tip of the cannon, rather. I can't believe I forgot that. So the tip of the cannon comes off, and the lance is going to plug into that, and then this base here, this is what's going to plug into the fist, and that's going to create the lance. My bad. I haven't played with this guy in a while. So there you go. So there's the Prime holding the proper lance right there. And again, you can take the cannon and plug this back in here if you want to have the long cannon, or why isn't it going in? There you go. So if you want to have the long cannon, you can still do so, just like that. And you can have him man the cannon with his lance. Or you can have the rifle up here on the arm. Whatever you want. This guy has a lot of play options. Or you can remove this, take that all the way out, leave it with the short cannon, which also works. That is actually very accurate to old-time cannons. And then these pieces here are going to split apart. And as you can see, it looks like you got two thrusters right there on the bottom, and you've got these angled slots here in the back. What this is for, this is absolutely incredible. Come to the back of Prime here, and this flap right here is going to come all the way up, and you can see these angled tabs right here. So these guys are going to peg in right there, one on each side, and you're going to want to make sure that these little pegs are sticking out to the back of the figure, just like so. And then there's two holes right there on the top of this red flap. So this guy's going to come down. And I don't have it in all the way. I don't have it in properly. There we go. I'm doing something wrong. There we go. There we go. So now, this part is going to come down, and these tabs are going to tab into that top panel right there. And now, we've got ourselves a jetpack for our Optimus Prime right here. So now Optimus Prime can also fly. So that is super, super cool. So we're bringing his fist one more time with the lance. There you go. So now we've got a jousting Optimus Prime with a jetpack so he can fly. And he's got his trailer here with a cannon. And again, just for the heck of it, why don't we go ahead and take this cannon and plug him into this arm. So now he's fully loaded now. So there's your Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime, fully loaded. You've got your lance, you've got your shield, you've got your ion cannon, and you've got your backpack, and you've got your trailer with another cannon right there. How cool is this? This guy is absolutely incredible. Love, love, love this figure. I don't have anything negative to say about this guy. It's just an absolutely cool, fun figure with lots of play options. Again, I know the original release of this guy had some QC issues. I understand a lot of people were upset, rightly so. If you can hunt and track down the second edition of this figure, or if you like him in some other colors, purple or black, definitely worth hunting them down, because this is one of my absolute favorite Optimus Prime figures. This is one of my favorite pieces on my shelf. And let's see if we can we get the cannon right there? Trying to get in a good shot here, like a good exit shot. There we go. How's that? That looks good. So, yeah, absolutely incredible figure. Like I said, if you can hunt one down, try to hunt down the second edition. If you can't find a second edition, go with the first edition one. I'm sure you can tighten up the shoulder joints so that they don't, flap around on you, which I don't honestly think it's such a big deal. But I would be careful about these pegs, these tabs right here on the fist. Let me bring that in close. Just make sure that I cannot focus on the fist. Come on. Okay. So just be careful with these guys. You can see how stressed out those are. So just make sure that you hunt one down that doesn't have those broken. Other than that, I think the shoulder part is not too big of a deal. So, but there you go. Great figure. Nothing bad to say about it. Absolutely love it. And I think that about covers Mastermind Creations KM-01 Night Morpher Commander, or third-party Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.